Hi there, it's Max from Isolation Game, and today we continue the work on Return of the Space Invader. Last time I stopped at the point of spawning enemies. Yeah, I animated some very complex logic for that, and now I'm going to continue tuning the enemy spawning. I will even call this microchip spawn. I want to make some logic for... Also, there is an invisible part of it, which I want to turn on. Yeah, that's an invisible cube. Which contains the emitter. So the maximum of the emitted objects is 20. And what I want to have is I want to have some kind of counter that will look for how many enemies are at the scene simultaneously. So I need some kind of trigger, the spawning trigger, to happen each time, and to set that counter up when it spawns. So I guess it must be somewhere here. So time between spawns, rotation, emit speed, object to emit, emitted object lifetime, emitted once, max emitted, recycle emitted. Didn't see anything. Object just, oh yeah, that's what I need. So I need a counter here. That will count them. Okay, let's see how it works. Now we need to, the target value is bigger, must stay bigger. Yeah, great. So it perfectly counts my emitted objects. So now what I want to do is I guess the maximum count is something around 40 or maybe 50. Okay, let's make it 50. So if the count is bigger than 50, when the target value is so when the target is less than 50, I want to spawn more enemies, and for that I need to spawn the emitter. So there must be, so if this emitter emits these 3 lines, yeah, there must be another emitter which will emit through the horizontal line. It will will emit this emitting object. So let's try and do that. I'm curious if there is a limit of emitting objects that could be emitted from another object, because it's already some kind of four hierarchy of spawning right now, because there is this emitter that emits enemies, and also there is emitter that emits missiles from enemies, and also there is emitter that emits a dead enemy, killed enemy. So I don't know, maybe there will be a problem in the end, but I guess for now it works, and that's great. So this emitter will emit a line, yeah? Is this right? Where do I need the line to be emitted? Here or here, maybe? To start, I guess it must be emitted here. Where's the first? Yeah, so the first position is this line. Yeah. I guess I'm pretty much over it. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to spawn this guy. No. Yeah, I want to spawn this guy. So this emitter will object to emit will be this one. So it will emit at 0 speed because I already have a mover on it, and it will spawn once. Let's check. Nothing works. Or does it work? Let's before we begin this, Let's uncheck the invisibility for this object, so to make it visible, and also so it spawns the object but not the emitter, and for some reason this stops working. I think we should not spawn the I know what's happening. Or maybe I don't, because it spawns the object and nothing happens. Don't know what's wrong. Maybe because this microchip is not attached to the object. Let's do that. Maybe that's a problem. So now it's attached. No, it's not attached. No, again, not attached. Uncheck the grid snap. Oh yeah, now it's attached. Let's see if it works. So now this emitter, which is set up perfectly fine, will emit this group. Yeah, now it works. Yeah, I was right. Now, what do I need now? Now I need to move this emitter and spawn. Also, that's not really cool. Maybe Maybe, how can I count the dead ones? Because I will also need to decrease the count on the counter when an enemy dies. Is there a way to register a dead destroy emitted objects? Use this input to send a signal to the emitter to destroy all current emitted objects from this emitter. Stand space transform, stand space direction. Can... Что?
Ну попробуй. Французский какой-то. Ну потому что, блин, надо. Тут как бы лучше обойтись без, не знаю, без бургера. Сейчас я зайду, трусами буду. Нельзя? А если зайду? Это называется
шантаж. So when they are dead, or when the missile hits an enemy, so where's that missile? So I guess this counter should not be a part of this whole this thing, because this should be universal counter. Very big one for everyone to see. Yes, so this will be a def counter, enemy def counter. Not that big maybe, but okay, it's seen from everywhere. And I oh my god. And it doesn't work. After being removed, it stopped working. That's also pretty interesting. Yeah, because it is inside emitted object. That's not very cool. I also can count lines. Maybe because it is emitted now, it is not counted inside the scene or something. Not very good. How can I send the signal of free emitted objects? Okay, let's think about it later, or maybe ask somewhere on forums. But for now, I will continue. So at the beginning of the scene, this guy will move and spawn lines. So we need like 10 or maybe 15 lines of free or maybe even more. But let's start with 10. So there will be another microchip. With the mover, yeah. Microchip with the mover. That will move the emitter over this line. How many points are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this will be fine. And this guy will move with 100 strength and 100 damping. Oh, I will also need an object. Oh my god. We will need to do the trick again. So we'll need a cube. So now we can move this guy, yeah, with X line. Yes. So I needed to move around. I needed to move around back and forth. Maybe we'll do that with the timeline, not with the mover. Because it's easier to control such movement with the timeline. So this will be a looped timeline. Sustain, no. Sustain is fine, but loop is fine. I don't know. Okay. So the first keyframe will be this one, and the second keyframe, now let's do the, so the second keyframe will be 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, this will be like this, and the movement will be smooth start and smooth finish. Stop and yo, my man, how's it going?
Performance. Дубль 17. Я пришла за компьютер.
So you see, we've got some special welcoming dance for you. Great, me too. I'm messing with spawning animation. Did some interviews yesterday, so wasn't streaming. Dreams. Played a lot of MechWarrior online though. Wow, that's cool and very complex. Yeah, I need a spawn now. Are you just trying to do the animation, or Desperados 3, I guess, is very good. but I've played hell a lot of the old ones, so I'm a little bit tired of this kind of game. Yeah, I think at some point I will play it. Yeah, true, great. I'll check it out. There was a good one, I don't remember the name, about Shinobi, about the same style, but you play in medieval Japan. Don't remember the name though. It was also a good one. Yeah, Shadow Tactics. Hello, Voyager on. I need some kind of signal. I guess the signal generator will work. So to there's no picture in the stream? Or did it do that for once? Just once. As I can see, everything's fine. I think it's on Twitch's side. So I want to send a signal to the emitter every, I don't know, half a second. Half a second. Let's see how it goes. So it spawns them perfectly. And what I want to have now is I want to somehow count the number of my enemies to see how many are there in the scene. But for some strange reason, when I start to do that inside my other microchip. Like there is a microchip here inside the second spawning, the one, yeah, the one that flies, this one. Yeah, like this one. And it doesn't even want to zoom on it. So here's the one, the original. And there is a counter that counts every spawned object. But it stopped working the moment I started emitting the whole thing from another emitter. So I don't know a real way to count every spawned enemy, and that's a problem. Because I don't want to have like too many spawned, and I want to spawn more when the number is decreased. But that doesn't work right now. I can still, I think, count the number of lines, because if I'm going to connect this emitter to object just emitted to the counter, I guess it will still work. Yeah, it counts the lines now, but I can't count the one that are step deeper into the parenting of emitted objects. And that's sad. I have to come up with some other way to count the number of enemies in the scene. Maybe they should have some kind of tag, and I can count the number of tags inside. I don't know how it works, and if it works. So here's the object that's being emitted, and here is here it I always forget those shortcuts. So there is a tag inside, it's called invader. I don't know if it's a way to count how many tags with this name are there, or maybe there is a way. Let's check the counter. So count progress, count increase, decrease, reset count. Nothing like that. Oh, there is a wireless transmitter. Maybe a transmitter without using wires can help me. Control the sensor, grab sensor, movement sensor, angle sensor, rotation sensor, laser scope, impact sensor, signal generator, value slider. What's the value slider? Oh yeah, I know what's value slider. Now a variable. Oh, actually a variable can help. I can how can an object sense that it's been emitted? Or is there a way to object to sense? This is also interesting. Because score modifier can count how many enemies I've killed, and this can give me an idea of how many are there in the scene. Oh, now it's too many of them. That's so sad that it doesn't work. Because this would ease things up very much. Yeah. But anyway, it is better because in the end you will come up with even better idea. I know that. It will take time and the rage will be killing you for a while. But I think it will be better than you know, I don't know if you've heard me, but I've got a problem here and maybe you can help. There are multiply levels of spawning of emitters inside my scene now. There is this one that just goes horizontally and emits the lines, and the second one emits enemies. So the problem is I can't, from the second emitter that is emitted from this first one, the object just emitted counter doesn't work, so it doesn't add up to the count when the object is emitted. It's just 0, always 0, although there are 3 emitted objects or even more right now. Oh yeah. And I don't understand how to count all the enemies in the scene right now because of it. And that's where I'm stuck. There is one that goes horizontally and it emits the one that goes vertically. And inside this one emits the enemy character that also emits missiles. So I guess it's like 1, 2, 3 hierarchy levels of emitters. Yep. Because if I want to count how many objects are emitted from this emitter, it's fine. But when I want to count the second one, it doesn't work. Because it's emitted object. And my guess is it's not the one. Maybe I could do the whole thing with one emitter and not not to have move it in two directions. Sure. Which node do you suggest to put before the counter? Just any? AND gate or OR gate? Just a simple node, yeah, got it. So here's the object just emitted. Now it doesn't work at all. It's all gray, you see, because it is a reference object. No signal here at all. That's the part of the reference object logic, and it doesn't send any signal. And how can I get into the logic when I try to you see, here's the emitted object, and I can't even, how to put it, access it. It just doesn't work with me. And in the reference object there is nothing happening at all. If I'm taking the if I'm taking this thing out, it's and also a node. It's not happening. So my guess, it's not even possible to access the number of emitted objects inside another emitter that is being emitted from another emitter. And maybe I should not use this kind of logic. Maybe I should just emit from one emitter and try to make it have some kind of forward velocity while moving horizontally for the emitted objects. Maybe it's too big of hierarchy for dreams. Yeah, I guess so. And that is sad. So maybe I'll make a little different logic here. More complex one. So it won't move forward. It will move horizontally instead. Oh my god. One, two, three, four, five. And да.
Это типа ты такой, знаешь, когда тебе заботятся. Ты тут в игрушки играешь, а тебе заботятся. Черешню ты хочешь? Или уже съел все? Нет?
Нет, не съел.
Принести тебе черешню?
Да.
Да, ну конечно, да. Ну, кукусик.
So now I'll make it shoot itself. So emit speed 2. Let's see how it works. Oh, They all fly down. Спасибо.
Пожалуйста, пожалуйста. Пожалуйста, пожалуйста, пожалуйста. Пожалуйста, пожалуйста, пожалуйста. Театр одного меня. Им же нравится?
Да.
Хочешь, я голая могу?
Теперь тебе хочется голый просто перед людьми, порнушку хочется.
Мне хочется, чтобы у тебя были больше просмотры. Сана! Сана!
No, it doesn't work. My idea was false. Speed is making the whole thing. Yeah. My wife wants me to have bigger, how to put it? Better show, for this to be a better show. She even asked if she can perform naked here, but I said no, because Twitch will delete it. Maybe I should make a very complex movement. Yeah, eventually we'll both do that naked here. She will dance, I will do dreams. And the dreams will be about some very erotic and porno stuff. Oh no, I did it all wrong. What's wrong? Why is it there? Yeah, finally. So we will move here. Yeah, that works. I guess we'll do that. And if this works, I wonder if the counter will work right now. So let's check. Paragraph? Didn't get you, sorry. the counter works in this case, and that's great. But I guess I will have a little bit a more complex way to spawn this animation. If you're worried about what you wrote, everything's fine. We're pretty open. Why is it spawning the sixth one? Maybe it takes some time. Don't worry. That's strange. Something awkward happened to the animation. Oh yeah, I know why. No, I don't. For some reason, this first keyframe is not working. Yeah, that's fine. Now these keyframes changed. Now they work. I guess there are some bugs in the timeline that I don't understand. It works different all the time. But now it started working. I don't like timelines here. They're unpredictable. How's the virus stuff for you? Is everyone okay? I mean, in your circle of people. Yeah, I understand that mentally, no. But I mean, is everyone well? Or you have close relatives or someone that got that? Yeah, I know what's happening in America right now. That's crazy. But while I was visiting, it seemed like really great country and very beautiful. Nothing like what I see in the news. Everyone were very friendly. Oh, that's great. Yeah, news is garbage because when you start reading, it's like an apocalypse has already happened, and we're living in the midst of it. And when I read lots of news, I start to panic. Oh no, wrong way. Second line, third line, fourth line. Yeah, that's the only way to keep yourself sane. Second line, third line. So this is second line, third line, fourth line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's a therapy. Whoa, what do you have? Sorry to hear that. Oh my god. That's that's very hurting, I guess. I've never had such stuff happens into in my life, but my friends had, and they've been through some rough years. But eventually, they've got over it, and I guess you're also in on your way. I wish you strength with that. It's very good that you've put yourself into creative process. That's that's the spirit to get over such stuff. And I'm happy to hear that you are recovering. Oh, I see. Got it. How to put it? Dangerous sports. Yeah. I always wanted. Yeah, accepting is pretty hard. I always wanted to fly the wing, like that winged squirrel, yeah, or monowing. I don't know how it's called. When you fly on the going up on the upwind in the mountains. That's freaking dangerous, but that it um, mm, yeah, paragliding, and that really got me for some time. But I don't have time to have so many parachute jumps to have this access to paragliding. Wild fun, yeah, wild fun. I wish I'll make. I will. Someday I'll make more money. I believe. I guess to spend more time with this, and maybe not do that with the mountains to be this dangerous, but just to fly. Jumping from a plane just with this like to get just a little bit of it, but not the whole experience, because it's breathtaking, too much of breathtaking. Well, it works. Not the way I wanted it to work, but it works. Yeah, everybody knows that, and in the end, when it happens, people just don't want to believe. It's the same with even bike riding or a motorbike riding. Everybody do that, and it's perfectly fine until your wheel or stops or something. I had an accident on a sports bike. Got at some point the chain stuck, and the bike flew like this with my the second person sitting behind me flying all over me and to the bushes, and I was dragged with the bike on the side of the road. It was in India, at Goa, and I was extremely lucky to be for this to happen just in front of the best hospital in India. So they took me there and fixed my leg, but my vacation was broken at that point. Yeah, sure, I was extremely lucky. Run on dirt, wow. Wow, 9 times. Wow, my God. That's crazy, man. You had some wildlife. Yeah. Yeah, from keeping it from flying into space. People are lunatics, but I guess that's a part of our, I don't know, of who we are. We just want to experiment hard, and that's a thing to be, I don't know, I'm proud of such boldness. It's crazy, but um, that's the way to live. Like in the end, when you ask yourself, what have you done? Well, you were here, and you will say that you did all you wanted, and you pushed the limit, and that's great. Because if you didn't, that would be not very good for your feelings, I guess, in the end. I believe that life is about putting yourself in front of that limit and watching how you're going to behave. I guess this trauma you had is also a part of it. Like, can you accept death? And maybe because you experienced it in such an extreme way with so many friends, it was a payoff. Like when you go extremely high, you fall extremely from extreme heights. And that's also a part of it, and a great part of it. And I'm happy that you are recovering, because I know people who didn't, and that's sad. That's sad. Yeah, yeah, that's true. We should all have a little bit, some balls to do this crazy stuff. One, two, three. Yeah. Death is the hardest thing to accept, because when we leave, we think that we're not just invincible, and so and we think of ourselves as that we're gonna live forever. Maybe that's true. Maybe the funny thing is, for what I think of it, is that maybe we are immortals, and we just can't can't accept that our bodies fall apart, and that's what makes us sad, because we don't remember our true nature, and something inside of us thinks that that is not how it should all be. And this attraction to ourselves, like this body, gives pain to the loss that we feel. Yeah. Maybe maybe it's okay to have a body that fails, but Yeah. I, it's just so metaphysical already. I don't know how to put it in words. Some things we just don't know, and that's the main thing, we don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm a Buddhist, not by religion, but by the way I see the world. So I think this is all a dream, a big collective dream. It feels like it because I've been, yeah, and by practice, I do vipassana meditation for a while, and I've been lucid dreaming, and in lucid dreams, the reality can be the same or even more realistic than this one. So it really made me feel like we're in this this one is also a dream, just a persistent one. When you experience things like that, it also make
Наверное, часов где-то.
гулять. Ну,
3 часа.
ну давай. Пока.
Не скучай.
Окей.
Тебе же скучно, да? Блин. Все, чухай ты вообще. Я так и знала.
Sure. So now what I want to do with this is that if counter is less than 15, or maybe so I want to restart. Or maybe I should build a grid of points. And when the grid of will sense that there is no enemy, it will start a counter, and then move a spawner to this position and spawn. That's what I'm looking at right now. Well, they are too high. Oh, and I should prolong the life. Yeah. So now I want to make this guy live, not this one, but this one live longer. And here's the emitter. I want to live it more than 10 seconds. I want to live it to live for 12 seconds. Okay. Okay, 19 will do. Oh, I've been killed. So this is great, but I want to try another idea. I want to turn it off for a while. Yeah, that's great, nothing happens. I want a tag to be positioned somewhere like on the first line. Let's have it a different color. No, I can't have it with different color. Okay, but that's fine. I want... Great, nice to see you again. You see, I've come up with a different idea on spawning. I want to spawn... I want to make a grid of tags that will have a trigger zone. And if there is no character in a trigger zone, that they will spawn it there. And I want to check if my idea is okay. Yeah, great. So I guess my idea will work too. We will need a teleporter for that. Oh, I should name the tag before doing anything. Oh, that's a problem. We've got this one coming also. Did it hit you last year? Wow. So you had to move? Or, wow. Did you move to another place after that? Wow. Did fire teams do something to prevent the same thing happening this year? Did they build some I don't know, blocking construction, or maybe did they cut a little bit of forest around so it won't hurt this much? Funny. Can it teleport to 2 tags? No. I wish it will be not as destructive as the last year. Yeah. We're still nothing compared to nature. So if there is no enemy in this, so trigger zone will detect the tag invader. Everybody just don't listen until they are hit by something themselves. And I see that in myself. I think that everything's fine and no problem until I'm deep into some shit that I wasn't noticing around for a long while. So this will start at another teleporter that will teleport a tag . Or should I just make a list of tags? Like enemy 1, enemy 2, enemy 3, enemy 4. Sure, yeah. That's so true in Russia, you just don't know. Enemy position 1 then, yeah. And if we're gonna have another tag like enemy position 2 with another trigger zone, if there is no tag invader, name to detect invader. Now we need to, yeah, invader. Now you must also detect invader. So this teleporter works for enemy position. I will put you here. So if not, then teleport. And enter tag name, affected object, I guess this one's enemy position 2. And this one is enemy position 1. Okay. Two, 1. So the same goes. Oh no. This one goes to enemy position 2. And this one goes for okay, and this one is doing the same thing, yeah. So it spawns at enemy position 1, but it doesn't spawn anything. Yeah, because I stopped it from doing it. So now I need to spawn an enemy here, and that will be done also by the teleporter. So when after spawning, or maybe just with it, I don't think that's very good. But let's check if it's maybe a little timer will do, like maybe a 0.1 second timer, which will then spawn an enemy. Oh yeah, I think it somehow worked, but just for the second one, while I was spawning the why did it work for the second one? This is position 1. So it checks both, yeah, so it works for some reason. Okay, let's make a timer for this one and see. If this will work. And that would be also spawning. Now we've got 2 here for some reason, but the invisible one is here. Okay, my head explodes already. I guess this is a legit way to do so, but I need some time to think it over. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thank you, a little girl don't hurt, for your support, and good time as always. See you around, and be a dreamer. Be dreamers.